08 GTV 21F1033. Firstly, I want to say thank you for watching our presentations. I want to present to you all about functions of foundations. What is foundation? Foundations is the lower portions of the building usually located below ground level, which transmit the load of the superstructure to the supporting soils. A foundation is therefore that part of structure which is in the direct contact with the ground to the which load are transmitted. Okey, kat sini kita dapat belajar yang foundation sangat penting untuk mengelakkan bangunan kita runtuh. Foundation ni merupakan kaki yang menanggung beban bangunan. Di sini juga foundations ada 3 asas. Yang pertama ialah memindahkan beban ke lapisan tanah di bawahnya. Yang kedua, mengelakkan berlakunya endapan. Dan yang terakhir adalah mengekalkan kedudukan bangunan. What is pad foundations? The pad foundations are shallow foundations that take a spread wide load to the soil safely. The pad foundations are preferred if the soil at the site have a sufficient strength and not too deep to construct. The thickness of pad foundations are generally uniform. In some situations, the upper surface can be steep or sloped. The design of pad foundations is a simple and straight which make them an economic solutions. Design principle of pad foundations as defined. The pad foundation is supposed to spread the concentrate load safely to the bearing stratum. Hence, pad foundations must be designed stiff so that uniform spreading of the load to the soil must happen without making the foundation's pressure excess the permissible bearing stress. The requirement is achieved by the either reinforcing the pad of making the pad deep. What the method helps to spread the force in the predetermined angle. The angle of spreading is determined based on the bearing capacity of the underlying soil and the concrete strip. The size of the pad must be such that tensions need to be prevented within the concrete so that no cracking is the cause which will result in failure. The ability to resist the punching shear is the governing criteria that determine the depth of the reinforced concrete pad foundations. Another important factor governing the depth of pad is the ability to resist the bending. The pad foundation's arrangement is mainly dependent on the load-bearing capacity of the soil, the structure to be supported available space, and the imposed load. Based on this factor, the pads can be arranged as spread discrete pad, base pad that are balanced. This will suppose more than one point loads, continuous pads, series of pads supporting a continuous beam. The major type of foundations are plain concrete, reinforced concrete, continuous pad foundations, combined pad foundations, and the last one is the pad and ground beam foundations. Plain concrete pad foundations. Plain concrete is no reinforced concrete pad foundation, which is an economic option where our loading is relatively light as T must equal P, as shown in the figure 1 below. Otherwise, excessively thick pads are needed, which is not economic. The selected depth of the pad must be equal to the distance between the vertical element face and the edge of the pad on both the sides. Reinforced concrete pad foundations. Reinforced concrete enable relatively wide but shallow foundations, often designed to the to be poor land area to make the reinforcing cliff easy to construct and place. Rectangular beds are used for an eccentric incline loading longer mentioned parallel to the directions of the inclinations. Eccentricity, the thickness demanded by the type. This type of the foundation will be less. Combined pad foundations. Combined pad foundations are adopted close to a side boundary to enable the balancing effect of an internal column to be incorporated. The existence or the service or a utility may reside the extensions of the pad foundations. As shown in the figure above, the pad of the internal column will be connected to the internal column pad. This will help to counterbalance the load comings. Continuous pad foundations. Continuous pad exists when pad and the column there are support a fairly closing space. Extending the reinforcing between the pads ensure longitudinal stiffness. This technique helps in the resting in the vertical settlement. The second one is the strip foundations. Strip foundations consist of a continuous strip, usually of the steel reinforced concrete formed constantly under the load-bearing wall. A continuous strip foundations of the concrete is the most economic from the foundation for small building on the compact size. So now you can see for more detail about the strip foundations. Third is the rough foundations. Rough foundations are essentially large flat area foundation built either solidly or in cellular form. They may be employed for the lightly load structure on the soft natural ground or on other ground where weak zone exists. In this case, the rough is designed to spread across such zones with the tolerable bearing pressure and acceptable settlement. The rough comprises is a layer of reinforced concrete covering the whole area of the building or even the several buildings. It may be strengthened by increased thickness of concrete in the area of heavy loading, such as under column or by a system of main and secondary beams. The last one is the pillar foundations. Pillar foundations are principally used to transfer the load of the superstructures through which compressible structure or water onto stronger, more compact, less compressible and stricter soil or the rock at deep, increasing the effective size of the foundations and resisting horizontal load. They are typically used for large and structure and in the situations where soil is not suitable to prevent excess site settlement. Board pillars, also known as replacement pillars, are commonly used from the building foundations that provide support of the structure, transferring the load to the layers of the soil or rock that have sufficient bearing capacity and suitable settlement characteristics. Board pillars are pillars where the removal of spoil from a hole from the reinforced concrete pillars which is poured in seed. The spoil is replaced by the pillar change replacement pillars as opposed to displacement pillars where so the force away by driving or through the pillars. Board pillars are used primarily in the corrosive subsoil for the informations, the friction pillars, and when the forming pillars foundation close to existing building. they are popular in urban areas as the initial vibrations, the headroom is limited, where there is no risiko to have, and if there is a need to vary the weight of the pillars. This is the type of foundation. This is the pad foundations. Kalau kita tengok pad foundations, dia berbentuk 4 segi tempat. Okay, this is the strip foundations and the rough foundations. Strip foundations dia tak sama macam pad foundations. Pad foundations berbentuk segi 4 tepat, tetapi strip foundation dia berbentuk segi 4 sama. Yang mana menunjukkan beza dia adalah strip foundations lebih panjang berbanding pad foundation. Okay, this is the pillars foundations. Pillars foundations berbeza daripada ketiga-tiga tadi. Yang pad foundations, strip foundations and rough foundations, dia kena korek tanah untuk tanam benda tu. Manakala pillars foundations dia kena ketuk macam paku tu. Ketuk-ketuk sampai dalam, dia berbentuk panjang dan dia ada sampai tahap dia. Ketuk-ketuk sampai ke bawah, tak payah korek tanah. Okay, that's all for me.
Describe the function of floor and slab. Number 1. For a safe and stable platform for activities that carry out in the building. Number 2. For structural stability. Number 3. For thermal insulation. Number 4. For exclusion of groundwater. Number 5. For durability. Number 6. To provide appropriate surface finish. Classify of the floor such as solid floor and suspended floor. Solid ground floor. Solid floor tend to require little maintenance and are less prone to movement. They are often built up from the following component: subbase, well-compact building rubble or loose stone-based material; hardcore, suitable filling material to make the required level and create a solid base; dam roof membrane (DPM), and impervious layer such as heavy-duty polythene sheeting, concrete bed provide a solid level surface. Insulation to limit heat transfer with the ground. Screed, usually a sand and cement mix laid to prepare for the installation of a floor covering. Finish such as carpet, tile and so on. The thickness of the layer and their order will be depend on the specific use required and the ground condition. Suspended timber floor. A suspended timber floor is usually constructed using timber joints suspended from bearing wall, which are then covered with either floorboard or some other for the boarding material. The joints typically lays across the shortest span. Ventilation may be provided to the void between the floor and the ceiling below by placing a vent or air bricks within exterior walls, allowing air to travel from one side to other sides. This can, however, cause the problem of drag which can be avoided by installing a airtight barrier membrane which will help maintain an airtight seal. Suspended concrete floor. The construction of the suspended concrete floor is similar to that timber but can span greater distance and offering better sound insulation properties. A simple reinforced concrete flat slab is not usually economical as a suspended floor spanning over 5 meters. Other solutions include precast concrete plank or precast concrete beams with concrete blocks laid between them. Voids can be created by beams or ribs or cast in hole to house service as well, providing support for suspended attack shielding. Larger beam allow a greater span but require greater wall. Deep and more complex formwork and reinforcement. Identify the type of floor and their method of installation for timber floor, reinforced concrete slab, steel floor and composite floor. Timber floor suitable for span greater than 7.5 meter. The component is binder, gitter and brigade joist. Brigade joist is to support the floorboard, binder to transfer the load, bridging joist to the wall support, and gitter to immediate support provide the binder. A reinforced concrete slab is a crucial structural element and is used to provide flat surface in the buildings. On the basis of the reinforcement provide beam support and the radius of the span, slabs are generally classified into the one-way slab and two-way slab. Steel floor. Mark out new home and pack site. Make a hole size PKH engineering details. Put a concrete inside the hole. Mark out hole for steel post. Pre-cut floor joints install into place. Composite slab comprise. Composite floor. Composite floor is a concrete cast on top of profile steel decking which act formwork during construction and external reinforcement at the final stage.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Sitina Alana Betty Ramli and my metric number is 08DPB21F1031. I will explain about a construction of wall. Firstly, definition of wall. Wall structural elements used to divide or enclose and in building construction to form the ferrari of a room or a building. In traditional masonry constructions, walls support the weight of floors and roofs, but modern steel and reinforced concrete frame as well as heavy timber and other skeletal structure requirement extra walls only for shelter and sometimes depends with them on the ground floor to permit easier access. Functions of wall. Firstly is strength requirement of wall. Strength requirement of wall in building construction is governed by strength of material that's employed to build the wall and how material are fit together. Generally, the entire compressive strength of bricks and stone are not employed in small buildings such as houses by functional stability of the building. Second, stability requirement of wall. Stability of wall greatly depends on stability of its foundation, load's eccentricity, temperature effect, lateral load such as earthquake and wind load, and changing in moisture. Overturning tendency of the wall is due to loads that are not acting on the center of the walls, like loads from roof and floor, and lateral load. Lastly is weather and ground moisture resistance of wall. Wall should have enough resistance, just moisturize, water vapor and liquid water that might penetrate through foundation walls by absorbing water from ground or by falling of rain on walls. Damp proof layer with a thickness of 150 mm can be employed both ground level for a foundation wall. This should prevent water absorption. absorption from the ground, which should have a detrimental effect if it is not dealt with properly. Type of wall and its appropriateness. Firstly, partitions wall. The main purpose of partition is to divide the floor area into different areas. They provide physical separation between the rooms of different buildings. They also serve to provide privacy. However, they do not carry weight from the roof or floor. You can remove the partition wall at any time without affecting the structure of the building. Secondly, is load-bearing wall. A load-bearing wall or bearing wall is a wall that bears a load resting upon it by conducting its weight off to a foundation structure. A load-bearing wall supports load of a structure such as floor, equipment, furniture, and people. Lastly, parapet wall. Parapet wall is the extensions of a masonry wall above the roof. The chiffonier facade of a building atop the roof is called a parapet wall. It is a low wall projecting from a roof, terrace, or platform. The original intent having a parapet walls was to protect and guard the building. Now it is mostly used to make a house appear large or to beautify the building facade. Other uses of parapet wall include deterring moisture in roof and protecting the roof from collapsing or wind damage. Sketch the type of wall. Firstly, cavity walls. It is a wall constructed in two separate for single wall purpose with some space or cavity between them. A type of building walls construction consisting of an outer walls vented to inner wall separated by an air space. Cavity walls helps to prevent the penetration of rain to the internal surface of the walls. Secondly is load-bearing walls. Its carrying loads imposed on its from beam and slab above, including its own weight, and transfer it to the foundations. This wall supports structural members such as beam, slabs, and wall. On above floors above, it can be exterior wall or interior wall. It braces from the roof to the floor. Lastly is partitions wall. Partitions wall is an interior non-load-bearing wall to divide the large space into smaller space. The height of a partitions wall depends on the use, which may be one story or part of one story. These walls are made up of glass, fiberboard, or bricks masonry. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Nur Auni Rashid. I would like to present Discover Roof construction. What is roof? Roof is the uppermost portion of the building which protect the building from the rain, wind, and sun. Function of the roof. First, to keep out rain, wind, snow, and dews. Second, to prevent exercise, heat, loss, and winter. Third, to keep the interior building cool and summer. And last, designed to accommodate all stress encountering. Classification type of roof, which is flat and pitched roof. A flat roof is not truly flat but angles slide to allow the water run off. It is the cheapest to the building eternity but will cost you much more than other roof. Flat roof, almost flat, which ada kecurangan sedikit tidak berlakunya air yang bertakung and usually treated with a waterproofing chemical that can prevent water pooling and provide a flat surface. Maksud macam ada flat roof dirawat dengan chemical sehingga dapat kalis air dan air tu tidak akan bertakung. So bila air yang dirawat ni membuatkan bumbung tu dan air hujan yang turun kat atas bumbung tu tidak akan bertakung dan disatukan dengan bahagian air dengan saluran untuk mengalir ke tanah. Type of flat roof, precast patching with the tie paving, brick jelly or material terrace roofing, RCC flat roof, bigger trusses roof and mud trusses roofing. Advantage: lower initial cost. Initially, a flat roof has a low sticker price. This is usually due to the lower cost of material since there is a less square footage of roofing that need to be built. The labor cost also a great deal lower for a flat roof since the diameter of installation is not very complex due to the simple structure. Second, aesthetic. The flat roof give a modern and sleek design which is often color and trended when a design of the building. This type of roof can be used on both residential and commercial building. Disadvantage: roof element cannot develop hinge waterproofing, must be more complex and more lowering is not automatic. Support of load must be insured. Second, and maintenance. With the lower initial cost mentioned above, the typical more maintenance costs that come out in the long run, and that is very true when it come to flat roof. Type of picture roof. A picture roof is a roof that is slope downgrade typically in two parts at an angle from a central ridge, but sometimes in one part from one angle to another. The features of a roof: it is a vertical rise divided by its horizontal span and is a mixture of its steepness. Of picture roof ada 5 bahagian, iaitu first, learn to roof. Learn to roof tu macam kan tadi dia cakap ada 2 bahagian. So yang first yang ni ada 1 bahagian. So dia macam kita buat benda-benda yang kecil seperti macam ada 1 je bumbung macam garaj kereta, store. And then yang second, couple roof. Ada 2 bahagian, and couple proof roof lebih kurang macam couple roof, iaitu ada 2 juga bahagian. Dan dia couple proof roof ni ada tiang yang melintang dan tiang yang menegak. So and then composite roof, dia banyak penghadang untuk backup, bagi lebih stabil dan lebih macam menampung lah. Steel truss ni dia macam membuat dengan bangunan-bangunan yang besar seperti bangunan-bangunan rumah kedai, macam tu. Picture roof consequences iaitu protect against environmental hazard, thermal efficiency, sustainability and longer lifespan. Protect against environmental hazard itu menerangkan tentang bumbung yang berbentuk segitiga lebih efisien dan stabil, because sebab boleh mengelakkan daripada boleh menahan daripada musim salji dan musim hujan. Okey, kalau thermal efficient pula memberikan keselesaan kepada pengguna pada musim sejuk dan musim hujan. Sustainability mempunyai kelayakan yang mampat untuk menyematupadukan struktur bumbung tersebut. And last, longer lifespan. longer lifespan ini perbaikan yang lebih murah dan jangka hayat yang lama. Kalau pros and cons iaitu daripada more expensive to install and maintain, lebih mahal, dia lebih mahal dan requirement aggressive tinggi, bumbung mempunyai beban yang sangat tinggi dan not responsible to substitute a flat roof with a pitched roof over an aesthetic to or complicated design, tidak digalakkan dan bumbung ni dibina tidak boleh terlalu rumit. Method of roof construction for flat roof. Method of flat roof underneath the basic flat roof, usually constructed with a ceiling nailed to joist which support the deck. Usually in Western retail construction, with barrier insulation and a roof board. From there, the flat roof system you choose will determine and material you apply. Method of roof construction for the pitched roof. The two basic construction method of pitched roof are first, cut roof. A traditional method of cutting timber on site and building up the roof using rafter, joist, purlin, rigged board, etc. Second, truss roof. Prefabricated truss which delivered to the site and erected. Thank you.
Examine environment stability in construction method ialah pada tajuk 5.1 mengenai pasti unsur kemampatan alam sekitar dari segi tenaga lestari, pelepasan karbon dan pembuangan sisa longgokan sampah. Dan pada 5.2 akan membincangkan hal tersebut dalam isu pembinaan bangunan. Waste dumping and carbon emission. The construction industry is rapidly shifting its focus toward sustainability and eco-friendly practice as the business leader in the sector are required to release the long-time professional investing in the environment movement and adopting suitable solution. Not only a green construction method, green properties and eco-friendly future becoming is extremely popular with a new generation of aspiring homeowners, but it's also a lot began by offering the solution to the business sector. Dumping or ataupun lebih dikenali sebagai longgokan sampah. Demolition is a part of construction industry as a Iron Man so simply because they are a properly development project that have a build on land that already have a some building present. Sometimes investor will choose to keep the building and fit up, but if body will the thrown or other release complication new construction project in the construction company can actually capitalize the using of proposing or construction material rather than dumping construction material like steel, concrete and everything between into landfill. You can this material repossess team toward others construction project on process which will go to reduce the environmental impact, generation financial saving and make good use specialist machine. But it's not about the construction material, it's also recycle and proposing decoration reserve like a carpet, flooring, ceiling material to cut the cost and create more suitable construction operation. Carbon emission, carbon reduced to now this is critical time to address the waste body material conversion to carbon emission. Time to communication industry effort open the free carbon regulation and carbon calculate tools are beginning to make a process more than transparent. But this is a safe security on part of the body material manufacturer flow said the basically emotion data published in the consume easily bolster that you found the osman must sleep and this time and net within 100 million of the site need a balloon. Dengan adanya proses kita semula pelepasan karbon dan kelestarian alam sekitar dapat dikekalkan apabila sesuatu pembinaan dilakukan. Use a suitable construction atau menggunakan bahan binaan yang sepatutnya. Suitable construction mean a body with a renewable and recyclable resources and material during a construction project. Must taken the waste energy communication where possible protect the neutral environment around the site and the end result is suitable construction project must be environment friendly in building environment. Material usage suitable to construction. They are allies with the construction company and can improve the suitable. They are confronted as a renewable energy using a water treatment plants to mean waste recycling and burning the bed or waste material a great brick or the brick is suitable for the construction. Wood is a great material of energy become prevalent and only is not suitable renewable material and provide a biodiversity habit and make life resilient. Recycle metals. Plastic first becoming a suitable construction material is with a instead of metal applicator of eating in the place plastic and other rubbish donor concrete replacement. Recycling greenhouse and gases have a stop that they becoming overall with a material. Suitable concrete. Concrete is suitable the most friendly in manufacture allow or possible 5% of carbon dioxide CO2. Furniture mean a complete a new aspirin with a reduced emission, a creating alternative with a plastic or other risk, which can reduce the carbon dioxide process almost 50%. More and brickwork with a keep the cycling properties the greenhouse but enriches the School of Architecture University of Spain. Berikut adalah video-video yang menunjukkan bahawa bahan-bahan recycle daripada bahan-bahan kita semula daripada pembinaan yang boleh digunakan seperti kayu untuk membuat perabot, besi-besi digunakan untuk membuat cemilan-cemilan seperti paku dan sebagainya.